this is Russia. And that, I think, is something that you really have to let sink in, reflect, and then act upon in response. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Higo. Very interesting indeed. And I would have liked to have the time to open the discussion with the audience, but the time is pressing. And we have indeed another very important panel, the stage of our event, is the experiment that the students were going through, trying to train artificial intelligence models with their own narratives. And Heiko and the others were talking a lot about the importance of education and sort of creating a certain mindset, getting ready to live with artificial intelligence and getting ready how to use it, how to train it, how to benefit from the artificial intelligence. And the students of the Institute of International Relations and Political Science have been working already not the first day for some time with specific narratives. And we have 5 groups of the students, and then they are ready to introduce their findings. So I'll ask them to come to the stage, and probably group by group. So first of all, I'd like to invite the group, which is called themselves Propaganda Hunters. Yeah. 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Can everyone really hear me? Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really a lovely treat. Good evening. It's really a lovely chance to stand in front of all of you.
Microphone.
Because the TV is broadcasting you now.
Okay.
Mama, I'm home.
All right. So, good evening, and thank you all for joining. I would like to share with you the findings of our World Economic Forum has stated, like, disinformation in this decade is #1 priority, especially by artificial intelligence. So let's break it down. For the theoretical framework, we do have sets of ways to look into the narratives. In our institute, Professor Margaret and Nereus emphasized the ontological security, misinformation, and disinformation. However, let's talk about those who started this analysis before. We have a professor from University of Chicago, Harold, which says the politics is about what, when, and how. And you can see he analyzed the propaganda in World War I and II, and that analysis really cultivates a culture which is still viable until today. We have Professor Pritz from University of Utah. The action and the mobility is more about the identity and how that is really influencing people once someone started to target that. The third one, which is from Denmark, the Southern University of Denmark, Professor Rena, which, yeah, that's really lovely when you see how ontological security, identity, the narrative, all of that into the practice and action. You can see how the dynamic is sitting, and this is really fairly new, like in 2016. Okay. For the finding, for exercise 1, it's about Russia and Lithuania. More than 8,000 articles with the following themes using the Repsense technology. And the top story, it was about the arrival of German brigades. You can see the peak, January 23rd, February 27th, March 11th, and April 21st, which means whenever there is a news, whenever there is an investment, you can find the strike. And what's really interesting, it goes defensive and offensive. And that motion is really tricky once you track it. The second one, it's about Lithuania in international relations, worldwide, and social media, especially in Lithuania. And we have 26 articles those are the themes, which are 10, comparing to the 12. The top story at Lithuania worldwide, it's about the Baltic Fleet. And Baltic Fleet, March 30th, and you have already seen the German brigade, which means the Baltic Sea is really something imminent once you target that. And for the social media at March 4th, it's about the destabilizing force for Lithuania as a country. Those statements and those narratives were really highlighted. With that, this is the current affair. And you can see NATO, Lithuania, European Union, Russia, a collective security treaty organization, Eurasia, and the battlefields, especially in Ukraine. Those are the current affairs. And there is something, it's good to keep it in mind. At a certain point, as the New York Times and Foreign Policy mention it, before the invasion of Ukraine in December and January, there is a peak of 200% using this way of communication by disinform, which can tell you an early sign. If Russia is really about something, you better track it as an early sign. This is a good way to see through the crisis management. And for Ukraine, it is something we shall not really forget. And in this decade, the outcome is going to affect all of us. Finally, I would like to thank my team, and I will say, Veni Bertajide, Slava Ukraina, and thank you.
Thank you, team, very much. It's quite very impressive. Good job. And now, without not wasting time, I'd like to invite the next group, which